What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Keep It Hoop YouTube channel. So last night, Rondo had himself 15 points, 9 assists, and 3 rebounds in just 19 minutes. Went plus 24 in terms of plus minus, and he just really played solid basketball. So I wanted to talk a bit about some of the things he brings and what his arrival in Los Angeles means for the Clippers. So number one is going to be the playmaking, right? That's what he's known for. You're going to see him here drive, get the ball to Patrick Patterson for a dunk. And that's what he's really good at, right? He's able to break the defense down, find open guys. And it's something that, you see him playing here with Reggie Jackson. So it's going to be interesting to see, the lineups Ty Lue runs out there. But it's, he brings something that Reggie Jackson and Pat Beverly, their two other point guards, don't bring. Because Patrick Beverly is strictly a defender most of the time. And Reggie Jackson is more of a guy that likes to get his own shots. Neither of those guys are awful at running the pick and roll or getting guys shots, but Rondo really specializes in that. And as you know, he's always able to get the guy the ball right when he needs it in the shooting pocket, and we've seen him get shots for guys like Patrick Beverly and Reggie Jackson, Marcus Morris, Nicholas Batum, all these role players. But like you see here with Paul George, I think he's also going to be able to help guys like, Kawhi and PG-13. And it should help with some of their fourth quarter struggles because the Clippers struggled a lot in the fourth quarter. But you bring in a guy like Rondo, a high IQ player who's going to battle on defense. And he's seen almost every coverage ever, ran thousands of pick and rolls. You see him with another scoop pass, really nice look here. He's just going to be able to get guys looks. And now you let Paul George and Kawhi strictly focus on scoring, right? And you just, I think it takes some of the pressure off of them. You see him knocking down a three right there. Has improved as a shooter, still not a great shooter. You still live with it, but he's just a guy out there who's also another leader, which I think Paul George and Kawhi have kind of been touted as not being. So you bring in a guy who's been there, done that, won. And I really do think that while he doesn't fully fix all the problems for the Clippers, right? He has another really good find here. A little bit of a lazy defensive position there by Devin Booker, but um, I mean, he's he's not going to fix all of the needs that the Clippers have by himself. But I do think that he's going to be able to shore up the fourth quarter, which is one of their biggest weaknesses because they did have a lot of breakdowns. Look, I mean, that's just a beautiful pass that I don't think Patrick Beverly and Reggie Jackson can make or would even attempt. But I think the thing with him is now that you have a leader, a guy who's going to fight on defense, a guy who can get shots for the role players and take the pressure off of Kawhi and Paul George, you have a guy who can, I think, even single-handedly by himself, prevent a loss or two in the playoffs that would have happened without him just solely off of his experience and playmaking abilities. So I do like the pickup a lot. I don't think it makes the Clippers a sudden favorite or anything. They obviously wanted a guy like Lonzo Ball who would have been perfect. I do think that there's still a lot for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard to prove, but I think you saw in this game specifically just what he can do. Now, he's not going to do this on a nightly basis. He had 2 points, right, in 15 minutes the game before against Portland, and then 2 points in 12 minutes the game before that against the Lakers. There's going to be games, especially in the regular season, where he kind of floats and isn't super aggressive and doesn't do too much. But we saw, what he can do in the playoffs last year when he was in the Lakers. But I do want to keep everyone's expectations in check because even after everything I said and how important and big of a factor that I think he can be in the playoffs, he also did look really bad in some of the other games. I don't know if you guys remember, but he also has some of the worst offensive numbers in the league when he wasn't playing with LeBron. Now, granted, he's going to be on the court with Kawhi and Paul George, or at least one of those guys a lot of the times. But again, by himself, in a vacuum, is not going to be changing too much. But I think in tandem with some of the guys and the talent the Clippers have, he could do some damage and could end up, again, winning a game or two in the playoffs. But, at the end of the day, a lot of it is still going to fall on Kawhi and Paul George. It'll be interesting to see how they do in the playoffs. I know a lot of people have kind of hopped off that bandwagon. Nobody's doubting the talent, but we saw how big and disappointing that meltdown was last year. So that's really going to be one of the storylines going into the postseason. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll be back either tomorrow or Monday with another video. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Also check out our social media pages. Links will be in the description below. But until next time, peace.